What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good evening, or wherever you are, and whatever time it is. Welcome back to yet another video with you, man. Immersiaholic, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another online battle for the Divine Impera Overhaul mod for Total War Rome 2. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Rome taking on the Insubres in a massive last stand attempt for the Roman Legion here. They've been invading Insubre territory, and now the Insubres are launching a counterattack. This is occurring in a head-to-head campaign between my good friend Andre Lemgard and his friend Ancient Warrior. They've both been playing this head-to-head campaign for a while now, where they've been playing as Rome versus Macedon. So obviously the Insubre army will be an AI-controlled army. And what I mean by that is that, of course, the Insubres over here in the far corner were created by the AI. It's an AI-controlled army. However, for the purpose of this online battle, Andre Lemgard will be controlling the Insubre forces. So the hordes of barbarians will be pouring in to take back this barbarian town recently conquered by the Romans. The Romans played by Ancient Warrior. This is his small little garrison here, but it's basically just a town garrison. However, he does have a full-blown legion marching in over here. We'll be seeing more reinforcements come in as well, of Principes, Astarte, and more. So we're going to give this a couple minutes for both armies to basically get on the field. I understand it's going to be a massive horde of Insubre forces that will be marching forward. This is, as I said, in a head-to-head campaign, so we're going to be seeing some really fun battles where we see factions that don't normally play against each other in online battles on YouTube, just because obviously they're going to be playing against the AI and each other's major factions. And just in case I didn't say earlier, Andre Lemgard is playing as Macedon in this head-to-head campaign, and his friend Ancient Warrior is playing as Rome. But obviously the Insubres controlled by the AI are attacking Rome for this battle, so you guys will be seeing a fair few other online battles from this head-to-head campaign. Andre has been kind enough to bombard us with a bunch of replays from it, so that's going to be a lot of fun to chill out and watch. We're going to give this a minute or so until more forces from each side get onto the battlefield. Looks like the Romans are going to be trying to rush in and reinforce the town. I don't know if they want to stay in or not. I don't know who's going to win in this online battle. I have recorded some other online battles from this campaign already. I also have other online replays that I want to get out to you guys, but if you have online replays yourself, please do feel free to send them in. I'm also hoping to get our next Carthaginian episode up very soon. I do apologize for the break in the last month or two in lack of videos, but I mean the last probably 6 months or so things have just been very sporadic, so I understand it's going to hurt the channel and many people won't want to stick around for it, and that's absolutely fine. No worries at all. I just appreciate anyone at all watching the content that I make, so I hope you guys do continue to enjoy it. The channel is still going to be going not maybe strong, but it's still going no matter what. I do want to continue doing online battles. I love recording them. More faction overviews, more guide videos and whatnot, once I actually have the knowledge necessary to provide guides. And of course, just more videos in general regarding DEI and other mods and games eventually. But right now, my focus for the channel is Rome 2 and DEI. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys a small update before we get into this battle. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them down below or join our Discord link in the description. I'll also link Andre Lemgard's YouTube channel in the description, so please feel free to go check that out. He just posts some of his replays from time to time. Very big supporter of the channel though, very talented player. He's very aware of the, I guess you could say, aspects of DEI and the units in it. It's been very helpful for me in my own campaign, so he's a good friend. So feel free to go check him out, say g'day, tell him your mate Immersiaholic sent you. But anyway, let's fast forward ahead a little bit here, and then we'll wait until the armies are in formation. So I am going to pause this very quickly because the armies are actually already engaging technically. We have some Roman Principes throwing their javelins at a Ligurian levy unit. Not the best use of javelins, but anyway, let's go over the Roman army composition, and then we'll go over the forces from the Insubres, at least the forces that we could see. I'm not sure if there'll be more troops coming in or not, but This is already quite a large army that the Romans have to fend off, despite them not having all that much heavy infantry. So starting off with Rome, we have Camillan cavalry. That's right. This is Equites, but the very earliest tier of it for Rome. Rome has only still been in the Camillan reforms at this stage, yes. So they won't be using any swordsmen. All of their units are spearmen. Could be very tricky for them. However, they can still hire mercenary swordsmen, and they are doing that with the Veneti mercenary footmen right here, which is interesting because it's towards the Insubre territory. Interesting units, kind of like the Agrianian units that the Greeks get access to, so going to be interesting to see how useful these bad boys can be, although they don't really have any stealth capabilities. In front of them we have 3 sets of the early tier Principe units. One of them is quite depleted at only 148 men, so that's definitely going to be quite rough for Rome. We then have more heavy infantry, another Principe, so 4 Principes, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Although about half of the army is depleted. Yeah, all of these units are like just barely floating around 100 men. The highest out of all those units is 173, so definitely quite depleted. We then have a line of skirmishers behind the Principes, which just looks like levy javelinmen. 3, 4, and 5 of those, so very early tier stuff, not really too useful, but they could be handy. Another Veneti mercenary footman that looks like it's going to be circling to the right hand flank. We then obviously have all of these small little garrison units that aren't really relevant. We then have a Camillan general bodyguard. This is Custodus Corporis Legati. Interesting, okay. But anyway, this is the general of the Roman army that's reinforcing the town. We then do have a fair bit of cavalry for the Romans. We have 2 sets of companion cavalry over here on the right hand flank, which is now classified as a skirmisher unit. I believe it used to be classified as a light melee cav unit. Light or medium, but this is actually listed as a heavy missile cav now, and it should be, I guess. It's a skirmisher cav unit, armor 41, very high speed, fantastic cavalry unit all around. Only slightly depleted, one of them being at 87 men, so not perfect, but it's doable, usable. And then we have the Camillan cav over here, which we already talked about. So right hand cav is skirmisher cav, left hand flank is melee cav, sorry. Alright, let's very quickly check out the Agai army, which is the Insubres. And again, keep in mind, the Insubres will be played by my friend Andre Lemgard, so this is player versus player battle. So starting at the front and working our way back, we have a Ligurian levy unit, 300 men strong. We then have a unit of Ligurian mercenary spear band, decent kind of medium spear unit over there. And then we have the horde of the Insubres, which is kind of spread out but also clumped together at the same time, which is kind of weird to say, I know, but bear with me. We have sword followers, 300 men strong, and a javelin in them. They're going to be very useful for the Insubres, so one unit of those. Sword followers unit. Bit of a medium tier sword. We then have Alpine Axemen. Wow, very nice. Quite useful indeed. 300 men strong and a javelin, and they're an Axeman unit, so. And they have quite a big shield, so good Axeman unit, very good for countering the Roman spearmen at this point. Keep in mind, this is the Camillan reform Roman units. We then have some phalanx infantry. 1, 2, 3 sets of phalanx spearmen. These guys are medium spearmen, still of armor 25, but still solid for offering a main front line. We then have 2 sets of Celtic skirmishers, or 3. No, 2 Celtic skirmishers, 1 mercenary Alpine skirmisher. Moving down the line, we have 3 sets of short swordsmen, basically levy tier swordman units, so they can be quite aggressive, but no real armor piercing damage at all, and they have good aggression, but they're going to die pretty quick because they have no armor. They're naked boys, pretty much. Ligurian mercenary spear unit again, followed up by a Celtic spear warrior unit, medium tier spear unit. Oh, did we get the general back over here? I don't think we did. The general is a sword follower unit, so not very good general for the Insubres. Pretty poor, actually. Veneti hired riders. Decent cav unit, pretty much a melee long duration engagement kind of unit. Not going to do amazing on the charge. And then we have Celtic Cav, and Celtic Cav. 3 sets of them. So anyway, let's get the battle underway. I'm not sure if we'll get more Insubre forces. I thought they had reinforcements, but I'm not seeing any more come in. If I do see more come in, I will note it, but I mean, the way reinforcements work in DeI, it's kind of ridiculous in that they could come from any direction, but it looks like it's not. So, a Camillan era Roman army versus an Insubre swarm in the early game of a grand campaign. Could be interesting. I mean, the Romans do have the edge with their heavy infantry. However, I mean, the Insubres do have counters. They have some excellent axemen over here on the right-hand flank. They've got some decent skirmishers. They have spearmen that they can use as a little bit of cannon fodder, but also to try and deal with the Roman cavalry on the flanks. Insubres have an equal amount of cavalry if you're not including the Roman general too, so very interesting. Arguably an even battle right here. Insubre forces are just slightly lower in quality though, in my opinion. Romans are being baited to waste their javelins though, so good job by Andre. Yes, he's gonna probably lose this unit just to javelins, but I mean, all of these Roman units have just used the javelins. I'm not sure if these bad boys will. Let's see. Looks like the player might have turned off fire at will. Yeah, I think he did. He realized what Andre was trying to do, so smart move doing that. Roman skirmishers are pushing up, as is the Insubre line. Looks like they're going to line up just behind Roman heavy troops. It's good because it protects the skirmishers, but the Insubre forces will be able to fire on the Roman heavy infantry without getting touched by the enemy skirmishers unless they do push forward. Looks like both sides are looking to use their javelins, so we have the spearmen marching forward alongside some skirmishers. Looks like we have some group attack orders with this unit in particular. Principes being targeted by all skirmishers. This unit as well being hit. Good calls by Andre. Focus on the Roman units that are full at strength. You can see the Romans here with their spears and large shields. Very good unit still, but it is just a spearman unit. This is not the legionnaires that you're used to seeing as Rome, nor the Polybian era swordsmen. One of the fun things about Grand Campaign is dealing with the reforms. Where is that skirmisher fire? Oh, it's coming now. Momentarily, they just need to move forward a little bit. Roman skirmishers are adjusting. Perhaps they want to get some counter volleys off here momentarily. Yep, they're pushing forward. Who is going to suffer more? The Insubres will lose their skirmishers, but the Romans are going to lose a good chunk of their heavy forces if they're not quick. Little tricky. Tough call. In my opinion, it's more important for the Insubres to deal with the Roman heavy infantry. If they could cut through them, especially these units down here that are like at full strength, give the Insubres a very strong advantage. Skirmishing fire continues to be exchanged. Insubre skirmishers are definitely going to be taking some serious hits. Looks like we have a small contingent of militia archers over here using flaming shot. Going to be doing some morale damage to the Insubres. Not really a massive deal. Look at this. Woo. Yeah, Insubres are going to struggle with this. I'm not really sure this is the best use of them, but I see why the Insubre player is trying to do it. Might have been better to keep them in reserve and then try to hit the Romans from behind, but the Romans look like they're being forced forward. They are taking serious casualties, so it is working to an extent. And instead of having 200, they now have 173 men right there, so yeah, the Romans do not have their fully fledged proper legion line that they so heavily rely on in the mid to late game. I mean, early on they still need it, but mercenaries and AOR units really help make the Romans last. Here comes the phalanx troops, already in phalanx mode of the Insubres. Javelins come flying in against the skirmishers. Bit of a waste, actually, potentially. from the Roman skirmishers. They could instead be focusing on these phalanx units who will hold their own against the Camillan troops. Bit of a misclick, the levies get caught out. Axemen of the Romans are charging forward. Ooh, nice counter charge. Good call by Andre. Get those charges on the Romans, and now the phalanx troops are also going to rush forward. Although the Romans are now getting into their defensive formation. Smart call. Good job to the Roman player on that call. Meanwhile, the rest of the army is just having a standoff for now. The cheap low-tier swordsmen are not rushing to engage. Good call. They will lose against the Camillans without support. I mean, there is spearmen out here, but... Oh, it looks like the Romans are going to be using their javelins now to hit these swordsmen. A little bit of a waste potentially, but we'll see. Cavalry's coming forward. A lot of skirmishes are close on the Roman side. Getting ready to get involved. Insubre cavalry is ready to try and do some outmaneuvering. Insubre's getting caught on the charge. Not good. Romans coming in. Nice call by them. There is still a spearman unit that can come around and help the Insubres win this battle. Oh no, not good for the Insubres though. I would wait until the Romans attacked. I mean, they might want to tie them down, especially with a cheeky quick charge. Like, look at that. Ooh, very nice. Good job. But they're just so far away from these spearmen back here that they're not going to get any support anytime soon. So this Insubre unit should lose without support, but it looks like it is going to get the support. Cavalry's coming in, spearmen are trying to flank around, so... Alright, there we go. Getting engagements across the entire front line now. Insubres and Romans are pushing forward. The left-hand flank is being pushed hard by the Insubres with their cav. Nice call. They got spearmen supporting too. Very good job. The Romans do have a unit over here, Veneti mercenaries, that can come in support. Insubres need infantry to come and tie it up. Otherwise, the cavalry will end up favoring the Romans. This Veneti unit is quite good, and yeah, the reinforcements are going to be intercepted, so... Infantry of the Insubres are trying to help their cav. Right now, I would like to see one of these Insubre units get peeled off and circle around the Roman cav, but a lot of micromanagement would be needed for that. Engagements are happening across the entire front line. What the hell is this? Oh wow, all of the skirmishes of the Romans have been sent over here to the Roman left, Insubre right. Not good for the Insubres. Their generals being focused, fired onto by the few remaining levies with javelins. Might be time to try and bring in some of these units in the background. Help get some battles swinging in their favor. Speaking of which, Insubres are now actually going to lose this fight here on the right-hand side. They do have reinforcements in the form of Insubre spearmen coming in. This is the Ligurians, but yeah, too many Romans came and got involved. They're going to try and salvage their cavalry, but it's a little bit too late. Right-hand side's not looking good for the Insubres. They're also looking like they might be dealing with a potential collapse about to come out. However, Insubre left is pushing hard. They've routed one of the Roman units. The second one is trying to fall back. Doesn't look like it's going too well. There are Roman units swinging around to aid it. So it looks like the Insubres are going to go for some charges right here and here. The Roman cavalry will then charge in and finish him up though. Battle heavily starting to favor the Romans, yeah. Insubres did turn around, charged the Roman cav head on, so nice little bait there. But, I mean, Roman cavalry is outnumbering the Insubres. They're coming in right here. Insubre cav is going to lose without support, and there doesn't really seem to be any way they can get any over there. Looks like some of the Insubre troops are starting to pull back. Nice choice there, bit of a sacrifice, but might let them last a little bit longer against the Roman units who are using their formations to their advantage. Right hand side of the Insubre army still not looking great, but the Roman cavalry has left the area, so maybe if they could swing around with this general, might be able to get something done. Insubre is trying to plug in the holes in the center of their line. Left hand flank was looking good, but Insubre cavalry is being annihilated. Spearmen are stuck out on their own. Spearmen, they're just isolated. There's no support. Insubres have no reinforcements to commit. Not looking good. It was looking a fair bit more even early on. I mean, the Romans certainly had the better army. We can't fault the player who is playing as Insubres for his army composition because it's entirely up to the AI, so that is what it is. The AI will choose armies, it does. Although this army composition wasn't terrible, it's just going up as Rome, you know. You need lots of axemen, you need lots of armor-piercing units, you need lots of good cavalry. And the Insubres just did not have it. At least not in enough numbers, unfortunately for them. 15 minutes left in the battle somehow, but I mean, in my opinion, it's looking heavily like the Insubres are going to be pulling this defeat off. And they can't win this, but let's keep going. Could be proved wrong. Still got quite a while. Insubre General did make a nice breakthrough here on the right-hand flank. But I mean, there's still all this cavalry that could come around and shut it down. Look at that. Ooh. Roman General getting a nice charge into the rear of Insubre spearmen. They were trying to outflank the Romans. Bit of a mess there. This little salient will help the Insubres because they've already surrounded some Roman troops. These two sets of Romans are surrounded, but they're Principes. It's hard to break them, man. There is flaming shot coming in from the Roman archers. They need to be careful not to hit their friendlies or they may rout. Meanwhile, Insubre center, low center left, crumbling. Far left, about to fall, not doing well at all. So this, it's kind of strange. Initially, the Insubres were doing great on their left. Did a really nice deep push with their cav, but then they got caught out because the Romans on the right of the Insubres won their cav fight. So quite interesting, but I don't know. It's kind of switching back around. The Roman units just being routed right here, so that's a bunch of Insubre forces that are now free. They can maybe try and form up like a little bit of a line going here, coming in and get involved. Biggest fault for the Insubres though, the Roman cavalry, which is not something you hear every day, but they still have 4 units of cav, including their general, all in this little circle. Gonna be hard for them to pull it off right now. But I mean, these guys are slightly depleted. I mean, maybe I was wrong to say that the Romans have this, at least so early on. Insubres do have 1 cav unit yet left, although it's probably about to go down. If I were an Insubre player, I'd probably focus on the archers because they're not going to win this cavalry fight. What are you doing here? I guess he's trying to pull back his cavalry. I guess that's okay. Look at this by Insubres. They're actually doing a little bit of a comeback. Look at all these troops here in the center. They just need to get involved in attacking the Romans and then have their rears protected by some like spare units from the enemy cav. Units like this though, going out on their own, not good. They're going to be surrounded, they're going to be skirmished to death, charged to death. All of those lines of avenue will be open. If they don't do that though, then I don't know. These Insubres are actually doing better now. There's still some Roman units over here that need to come and get involved in the main fight, but Insubres are making the Romans pay for this seriously. I'm actually really surprised that the Insubres didn't get more of a serious rout, but their general's still alive, so props to Andre for that. Yeah, Andre General is not a very good unit. Quite poor, considering it's a general at least. But he's managed to keep it going. Very impressive. Roman cavalry, wedge formation, going to be trying to start circling around. There is that Insubre unit right there. That needs to get back involved in the battle ASAP. Could really help swing the tide back in favor of the Insubres. Start fast forwarding a little bit. We're kind of seeing what is to be expected at this point, where the Insubres are trying to force melee engagements, but the cavalry is starting to swing around, get some rear charges. So nothing too unpredictable. The only thing that's surprising is that the Romans haven't crushed the Insubres yet. Yeah, we just had a little bit of a rout right here from the Romans. Interesting. Let's press play. 10 minutes left in the battle, supposedly. Insubre unit retreats, but then the Roman unit is about to retreat as well. Another Insubre unit's about to go. That's a cavalry. Is it? Yes. Interesting battle. I still think the Romans are going to take it, but the Insubres actually did make this quite interesting. I mean, their right-hand flank consisted of their axemen and good units, so I guess I should have given the right flank more credit early on. But yeah, if there wasn't cavalry though, the Insubres would definitely be winning, but the Roman cav, it's just on point. 9 minutes left in the battle, and the Insubres have more units in total probably, but it's all infantry. And not the best infantry. I mean, it's decent for the time. This is early on in the Grand Campaign, so they're not going to have amazing units, but yeah, a little bit of a mess. Let's go ahead and fast forward again. Coming down to just over 8 minutes in, looks like the Romans still have the upper hand with their cavalry. However, the Insubre infantry are holding on, and the Roman general is nowhere to be seen. Big issue for the Romans. Oh wait, no, here he is. He's just done in a pretty savage charge. However, he only has 38 men left, which means he's taken quite a lot of losses and a lot of hit point damage. Uh-oh. Did we just see him get killed? I believe we did. He's down to 28 men. General is shattered for the Romans, just as an Insubre unit routes. However, that shatter could not have come at a more terrible time. Look at all these Romans. They're all depleted. There is a cavalry advantage, but look at all these hordes of units that the Insubres still have. Oh my goodness. They still have their phalanx units around, do they? Or is it just spearmen? Yep, there is still some phalanx units over here. The Romans are being called out in one section over there. However, over here, Insubres are getting wrecked by the cavalry, but I don't think it matters. I think the Insubres are actually bringing this back. There's no way. Oh my goodness. Yep, the Romans are routing en masse. There goes Cav, there goes that, there goes that, there goes that. The Romans have actually friggin' lost this battle. You're kidding me. No way. Ladies and gentlemen, we have it. The Insubres annihilate the final last stand of the Roman legion that was invading their territory, and the Venetis. Now the Insubres are going to go on the hunt, chase down as many Romans as possible, and show them why the Romans should stick to Italy and not invade Insubre territory. Wow, what an incredible battle. That's it. Insubres are just chasing down the enemy. Let's go to the statistics screen very quickly, and then we'll end it there. GG's. And ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we cannot even see the reinforcing armies for each side. We can see though the total number of units. The Insubres did bring in 4,400 men, which is quite a substantial advantage over the 3,300 Romans, but that is exactly the kind of ratio you need. You need a lot more barbarians when you're fighting Roman units. So definitely mad props to the Insubre player Andre Lemgard for pulling this off. Ancient Warrior playing as the Romans did really good, but his main line was already really damaged upon entering the battle, and he just couldn't protect his front line well enough to stop the Insubre skirmishes from really tipping the balance back in the favor of the Insubres, combining that with their axemen. The axemen were just savage, and here we got to see the Camillan weaknesses, which is the fact that they only have spearmen. So when they go up against armor-piercing units and they don't have cavalry to stop them, the axemen and other AP damaging units will just go absolutely ham with it. So anyway, unfortunately we can't go through all of these stats of the units, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one.